What is going on, guys? Bretto Live back with another video, and welcome to the Week in Review episode 222. This is where we go over Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style. We are going to start off with Monday Night Raw. Judgment Day has taken over. Truly, this Monday Night Raw really captured how strong and powerful and how dominant the Judgment Day really are. I really enjoyed this episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm going to talk about it right now, and then about halfway through the video, I'm going to talk about SmackDown. Before we even get started, let me know down in the comments down below, what did you guys like? What did you guys dislike about Raw and SmackDown this week? Down in the comments, and also smash a like in this video. Let's see if we could reach 500 likes on this Week in Review. So without further ado, let's jump into Monday Night Raw. We opened up the show with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They interrupted the Judgment Day, who were basking in the glory of Dominic Mysterio winning the North American Championship and main eventing Raw, NXT, and SmackDown all in the same week, which is pretty outrageous. They got interrupted, like I said, by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and then Sami Zayn asked for a North American Championship match against Dominic Mysterio later in the show, and Rhea Ripley accepted on behalf of Dom, and Dom, he didn't seem too worried. Dom was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, let's do it. And Rhea accepted on behalf of Dom, you know, just showing how much of a badass Dom is, I guess. It was pretty decent. I will talk about it a little bit later, and I did enjoy this opening promo. Talking about the beatdown that he received last week from Brock Lesnar in front of his loved ones, and he vows to take out Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam and pin him in the final chapter of their storyline. Basically just saying this is going to be the final match between him and Brock at SummerSlam, and then Cody Rhodes is going to go feud with most likely Bray Wyatt. I think they're trying to wait for Cody to win that big one, that big World Heavyweight title, or the Undisputed Universal Championship, whichever one it may be. They're waiting, so I think he feuds with Bray Wyatt after he beats Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's just my opinion right now, though. Miss Becky Lynch went one-on-one with Trish Stratus' sidekick, Zoe Stark, to determine if Becky Lynch is going to get a rematch against Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. Becky Lynch did end up picking up the victory over Zoe Stark. Wasn't a bad match. Trish tried interjecting herself, throwing her face mask in the ring to distract Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch was able to avoid that distraction and hit the manhandle slam on Zoe Stark to pick up the victory. So Becky Lynch will get her rematch against Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. I'm so glad they're finally giving us those confirmed matches for SummerSlam here on the show. They did a lot. So the match between Zoe and Becky, though, not bad whatsoever. I'm surprised they didn't give us this match later in the show. It was sort of more towards the beginning. Sami Zayn versus Dominic Mysterio for the North American Championship. We had Kevin Owens and the Judgment Day on ringside. They both ended up getting ejected off of ringside, both Kevin Owens and the Judgment Day. Sami Zayn and Dom fight it out a little bit more, but then nearing the end of the match, the Judgment Day come out with a beat-up Kevin Owens. They leave him just laying at the top of the entrance ramp, and Sami's distracted. Dominic Mysterio takes advantage and rolls up Sami Zayn to retain his North American Championship. That's 1 point to the Judgment Day during this entire show. They rack up a lot of points. They cause a lot of damage on this Raw. This is only the first thing that they do on this Monday Night Raw. He pins Sami Zayn, the undisputed tag team champion, retains his North American Championship. Yeah, he had a little help, but he still pins Sami Zayn. I still find that crazy. Not a bad match whatsoever. Favorite match of the night, hands down, Tommaso Ciampa going one-on-one with big Bronson Reed. Before the match, Tommaso Ciampa approached Shinsuke Nakamura backstage and he said, "Don't interject in my match tonight. If you do, I guess we got a problem." So I was like, oh no, it's too obvious now. Shin is going to interject himself in this match and make Tommaso Ciampa lose, because last week Ciampa made Nakamura lose against Bronson Reed. As far as the match goes, this match was freaking amazing. I loved it. Really highlighted what Tommaso Ciampa is all about. He's no joke. Bro can wrestle, bro can handle with the big guys like Bronson Reed, and he would have had Bronson Reed beat if Shinsuke Nakamura didn't walk down the ramp, distract Ciampa, and allow Bronson Reed to hit the big tsunami splash, which is a wicked frog splash, by the way, to take out Tommaso Ciampa. So I do see us getting maybe a triple threat match in the future between these three, maybe for a #1 contendership after Drew McIntyre maybe beats Gunther for the IC title or Gunther retains. I could see one of these three guys being the next contender for the IC championship. I don't know, that's just my opinion right now, but this was a great match. Liv Morgan wanted to get a little retaliation on Rhea Ripley for injuring Raquel Rodriguez, and it didn't really work out too well. She wanted a match with Rhea, and she didn't even get her match. Rhea attacks Liv before the bell and just beats her down. Targets her arm, slams it in a chair twice, slams it over the barricade, and yeah, Liv's sell to this was awesome. Like, literally, her heart-clenching scream was like so realistic, even though like the chair shots weren't, I mean, they were brutal, but they weren't that brutal, you know. You could see how they were doing it to where it like wasn't that brutal, but Liv was selling this like a goat, dude. Oh my god. And Rhea just looked like an absolute menace out there taking out Liv. So when Raquel returns, Raquel's gonna return with vengeance because now Liv is injured, Raquel is injured. Like, Rhea Ripley's unstoppable. That's point number 2 to the Judgment Day. Ricochet's beef with Logan Paul continues as he cut a promo inside of the ring, and he got interrupted by Logan Paul attacking him from behind. Logan Paul pulls out his phone and starts vlogging for a TikTok or an Instagram or whatever, and he's making fun of the crowd, calling people in the front row virgins as he's recording. And then, as he turns around, Ricochet super kicks him right in the face. He deserved that, no doubt about it. And then he did a standing shooting star. He just embarrassed Logan Paul, and I loved it because Logan Paul was trying to embarrass him. I enjoyed this promo a lot more than the one last week where Ricochet jumped over the top rope. Even though that move was sick, I just felt like this promo was better put together, no doubt about it. Logan Paul is hilarious, dude. Bro, like, actually makes me laugh out loud, especially with his interview backstage with Byron Saxton. Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to their match. They definitely have something planned, something crazy up their sleeve for this one, and I'm really looking forward to SummerSlam and this match. Damien Priest got approached by Apollo Crews backstage because Apollo Crews is like, yeah, you guys keep walking around bullying everybody, try bullying me. Let's go one-on-one. Apollo Crews went one-on-one with Damien Priest out in the ring, and I thought it was going to be different for Apollo Crews. You know, when he got drafted to Monday Night Raw, called back up to the main roster of his little NXT run, I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be a little different for Apollo Crews. No, Apollo Luz is still alive. Apollo Luz, he lost to Damien Priest with the South of Heaven. Pretty easy fashion. Damien Priest took care of him. Damien Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank, and that is point number 3 to the Judgment Day. Judgment Day is on top. Pay attention to all these points that the Judgment Day are racking up. I know there's no real points in WWE, but dang, they racked up the points tonight on Raw. Drew McIntyre asked for a matchup against Ludwig Kaiser after a really hysterical promo. Drew McIntyre's, you know what, Ludwig, I actually like you. I actually like you. You have more charisma than this fool. And then he wanted a match with Ludwig Kaiser. I thought it was a great match between the two. Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore to pick up the victory over Ludwig Kaiser, but then right after the match, Imperium, they jump in the ring, Giovanni Vinci, Gunther, they jump in the ring, they started attacking Drew, and then Matt Riddle comes out. Yes, I did a little fix-up with Riddle because he was wearing jeans, so I just threw his head on this Brock Lesnar. Riddle comes out, tries to even up the odds, and they don't really focus on Riddle that much. Riddle was just there to like take out Giovanni Vinci, basically, so then Drew McIntyre can focus on Gunther by the announce desk. It looked like Gunther was going to send Drew McIntyre through the announce desk with a powerbomb, but then Drew sent Gunther through the announce desk with a powerbomb, absolutely bounced him like a basketball right off of that announce desk. It was absolutely wicked. Awesome build-up to what is going to be a great match at SummerSlam. I'm really looking forward to it, and it really has me thinking, does Drew pick up that Intercontinental Championship? Does he win the Intercontinental Championship? I think it's time. Gunther's held that title for a very long time, and I really do think it's time for Drew to get a big one. He's lost so many important matches. He lost the Triple Threat at Mania. He lost the match against Roman at Clash at the Castle. He needs a win, and I feel like now is the time for Drew to get a big one, that being the Intercontinental Championship, and Gunther at SummerSlam. Contract signing between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, and you guys already know how these contract signings go. They always end up in absolute pandemonium. Finn Balor set a trap. The rest of the Judgment Day swarmed and surrounded the ring like the Shield used to do. Damian Priest on one side, Dom on one side, Rhea on one side. They all jumped in the ring and they started literally 4-on-1ing Seth Rollins. Sami Zayn tried running out to help out Seth Rollins, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Judgment Day were too strong. Frog Splash to Seth Rollins, South of Heaven to Seth Rollins, Coup de Grace to Seth Rollins, and then Damian Priest doesn't cash in. I feel like he didn't cash in. out of respect for Finn Balor's match at SummerSlam, that had to have been what it was, but this was such an easy cash-in for Damien Priest. Bro could have got that World Heavyweight Championship so easily, because Seth was down. He was out. I'm like, oh my God, Priest's going to cash in, right? He didn't. And like I said, I feel like he didn't because of respect for Finn Balor's match at SummerSlam. But oh my gosh, this was such a beatdown, bro. They beat the hell out of Seth Rollins, and point 4 to the Judgment Day. They made Judgment Day look so strong. Does Finn Balor get the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam? Is Seth's reign already over? Like, is Judgment Day really going to be that on top? Like, I really don't know. I'm so curious to see what's going to happen at SummerSlam. I'm going to be covering everything that happens on my YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing a prediction video, so stay tuned for that. But that was Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. I loved how they made Judgment Day look amazing. This show is just fresh. This show is fresh. It was great. It was well put together, and I'm going to give this show a 4.5. 4.5 out of 5. SmackDown this Friday, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, him and Solo, have taken over. They absolutely humiliated Jey Uso at the end of this show. I'm going to talk about it, but before we get to that, we got to talk about everything else. So without further ado, let's jump into SmackDown. We opened up the show with main event Jey Uso. Before he could barely get any words out, he gets interrupted by the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, the Wise Man Paul Heyman, and Mr. Solo Sikoa. They come out, they embarrass Jey. They call him Little Jey. They belittle him. I'm like, how dare you disrespect, insult Jey Uso after everything he's done? And Roman tried to do more of that manipulating. He is not letting up with this stupid manipulating that he does to Jey, and I feel like Jey falls for it every time, but he did not fall for it this time. He's like, it's not happening this time, Roman. I'm taking you out when we fight in Samoan combat at SummerSlam. I loved this promo. That was really good. Shows that Jey, he's not taking the mind games anymore. It's all business now, and Jey has to win at SummerSlam. Solid promo to open the show. Our opening contest was Santos Escobar going one-on-one with Rey Mysterio to determine who will be the #1 contender for Austin Theory's United States Championship. Austin Theory was in one of the skyboxes up in the rafters watching this match live with the crowd. I enjoyed that. That was a pretty good touch. This match was really good, and it could have been way better, but it couldn't reach its full potential because Rey Mysterio got an injury. I don't know if this was part of the show, but Rey did sort of whiplash his head right on the floor as Santos Escobar did a suicide dive, and I don't think this was supposed to be part of the match, but I just hope Rey's good. I hope he didn't get a severe concussion. That's just my prediction right now. I hope Rey's good. Overall, it was a solid match up until that. Santos Escobar did win by just he won because Rey Mysterio could not continue, so he wins. He goes on to face Theory in 2 weeks on an episode of SmackDown for the United States title. But like I said, it was a little disappointing to see this match not reach its full potential. I just hope Rey's good. Congrats, Santos Escobar. LA Knight, yeah! Interrupted Hit Row. I don't have any of their figures, so I couldn't really do a setup with them, but interrupted Hit Row. He went one-on-one with Ashante Diadonis, took the W, even with interference from Top Dollar. I loved it. He got so over with the crowd. He is so over right now. He deserves a big victory, and I hope that big victory comes at the SummerSlam Battle Royal that they announced, because he got himself entered into that match, and he has a match with Sheamus next week to gain a little momentum going into that Battle Royal, bro. LA Knight needs that Battle Royal win. He needs some sort of big win. Odd clip backstage with the almighty Bobby Lashley trying to reform a new Hurt Business. I would assume he had the Street Profits in his personal locker room, and he wasn't a fan of how Angelo Dawkins was dressed. He was fine with Montez Ford, but he's like, you boys, you guys are stars, and stars deserve to dress in style. So he gifted the Street Profits some suits, some tailored suits, and I guess he's just trying to get buddy-buddy with the Street Profits to form a new Hurt Business. That's just my prediction, but I am curious to see what's going to happen here. Charlotte Flair wanted a tag team match with the new women's tag team champions Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, so she recruited Bianca Belair, but Bianca Belair wasn't the happiest about this. She's like, I don't want to team with you. I'm fighting you at SummerSlam in a triple threat for the women's championship with Asuka. I don't want to team with you, but Charlotte's like, yeah, I'll talk to Pierce. I'll make it happen. Bianca's like, wait, no, I don't want this. So they fought the women's tag team champions. They beat the women's tag team champions, which I thought was so crazy. If I was them two, I'd be like, okay, let's team up, let's get those tag belts. But that's not how it went, because Bianca had the KOD set up to win the match, and then Charlotte hit the boot to the side of the face to Chelsea Green, and then pinned Chelsea Green. So just adding a little more controversy to the triple threat match that's going to be going down at SummerSlam, because Charlotte got the pinfall victory over the new women's tag team champions. Doesn't that make them the #1 contenders? You would think, but I don't think they ever want to team again together. I don't think. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Kind of made Sonya and Chelsea look a little bad, but what can you do? Speaking of looking bad, this was actually really sad. Karrion Kross went one-on-one with Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson said, "Hey, OC, Meechin, Styles, Gallows, I don't need you. I'm going to take care of business myself. I'm going to fight Karrion Kross one-on-one." And you could tell the OC was a little hesitant about sending him out there alone. He went out there alone, fought Karrion Kross, and lost the match. Karrion Kross displayed a lot of new moves in this match. I believe his finisher he used to put away Anderson at the end was like the last prayer, a very unique finishing maneuver. I tried to display it the best I could here with the action figures. He like whiplashed Carl Anderson down to the mat, 1, 2, 3, and then tried to beat him down after the match, and then the OC tried to come out to even up the odds. So I guess this AJ Styles Karrion Kross thing is not over. It's far from over. Maybe they'll both be in the SummerSlam Battle Royal, or they might just have a main match on the SummerSlam card, which I'd be fine with. This rivalry's been long enough. Our main event of the show is Jey Uso going one-on-one with Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller insulted Jey Uso backstage, so Grayson Waller, he wanted a match. He's like, okay, let's do it. Jey's like, let's do it. Solid match between the two. Grayson Waller was wearing his Elite Chase gear that they announced at SDCC, which I thought was pretty cool. In the end, Roman Reigns did try to distract Jey Uso and hit his entrance music and come out, but it didn't work. Jey still took care of business. He hit the spear and the frog splash on Grayson Waller to pick up the victory, insulting Roman Reigns as he did it, because Roman Reigns was on ringside because he came out mid-match. And then right after the match, Solo was ordered by Roman to attack Jey, and then Roman was sick of it. He came in the ring. Jey got a spear on Roman, but then Roman got 2 spears on Roman, and they sort of did like a double team spear Samoan spike ordeal. It was insane. They did 2 of these. When Roman hits the spear, Solo hits the spike, Roman hits the spear, Solo hits the spike. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, they're tearing up Jey Uso before the match at SummerSlam. They literally beat the hell out of this man, and I really wanted somebody to check on Jey, but good Lord, Jey was beat down. Does he win at SummerSlam? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. SummerSlam predictions coming very, very soon. I did enjoy the end of the show. I thought it was a really solid show. Outside of the Bloodline stuff, kind of mid, but the Bloodline stuff was really good. So this show, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5. That's just my personal opinion. You guys can let me know your opinion down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for tuning in this week in review. I love you all. Bretto Live is out.